It's your boy D's Media back again with another one. Today we're gonna talk about NBA YoungBoy. Today we're gonna talk about NBA YoungBoy was just transferred back to Baton Rouge, Baton Rouge Parish Jail, where he got to await his trial for his federal gun case. But yeah, man, he was denied bond. Man, it's over for that kid, man. That kid about to be sitting. He couldn't. He couldn't. And he couldn't. It's crazy because if you really think about the logic, all right, you're not about to get out of this situation. Either way it goes, you go on the trial for these firearms. Would you rather be in a parish jail in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where it's 90-something degrees outside? So that means if it's 90-something degrees outside, that means it's 100-something degrees in them hot cells. You're going to be dealing with funk. Your roommate's going to be smelling like feet, butt, and everything. Or you could be in $1 million mansion in Utah where you got access to money. You could do everything but leave. You get everything delivered to you. You can do everything. You just can't go nowhere. I don't understand like what was NBA YoungBoy problem, like why he just act like he couldn't do house arrest. If you think you got a mental problem being on house arrest, imagine the mental state you about to be being in Baton Rouge Parish Jail and all your ops in here too. See, that's what people ain't talk about. You don't think NBA YoungBoy ops know that he on his way back to Baton Rouge? What you think they doing? All that stuff he was talking on Grave Digger Mountain, what you think about to happen to him when he step in that Parish jail? Man, but the only thing I think that's gonna save NBA YoungBoy is because he's a high-profile case and his name. I highly doubt if Baton Rouge Parish put him in general population. So more than likely he gonna be somewhere PC'd up, or he gonna be on a tier where it ain't gonna be too many people. But I don't see them putting NBA YoungBoy on general population when he go to Baton Rouge Parish. I just don't see it because it's too much of a liability. You already got to think this guy. It's worth millions of dollars. He signed to a $1 billion label in Motown Universal. So it's like, it's not really worth the lawsuit and the money you would have to pay if something happened to NBA YoungBoy. And of course, he gonna try to make it seem like he ain't about to go to PC. He about to make it seem like he gonna be on general population. No, YB ain't gonna have no choice, bro. He about to go to PC. There's not gonna put NBA YoungBoy on no general population. But the reason why his bond, he's a no bond, is because they did not want to let him out 3 years ago. He had to run through brick walls to try to get out. He had to move all the way across the country to Utah, buy a mansion. He had to get armed security 24 hours in front of his house that pretty much is for his protection, but also watching him to make sure he doesn't leave. That's crazy to think that NBA YoungBoy has 24-hour armed security / police officer in front of his house for his safety, but also to make sure he doesn't go nowhere. That's what people didn't realize. They didn't let this man leave out the house unless it was a doctor's appointment, a dentist appointment, something to do with health. He couldn't just get up and go to the store because he want a pack of cigarettes. He can't just get up and take his kids to the movie. No, he can't even go handle business. Everything has to come to YB. Why you think he did all his interviews, all his music videos? Everything was on Grave Digger Mountain because he couldn't leave. So in a sense, he sat there and he complained that he was going through mental illness and he was, that this house arrest is tearing him down and he can't handle it. Bro, what do you think is about to happen to you by a 6x8 cell or 6x9 cell? You about to have those same mental illness without with less resources now. Cause you ain't got your in-house girl no more for whenever you get that urge. You ain't got your kids next to you. You ain't got your $5 million worth of jewelry. You can still look out your window and see $5-10 million worth of cars. You know what I'm saying? You NBA YoungBoy, you can still get tap in with any artist to do music and get your money. You one of the hottest streaming artists ever. So you don't really gotta leave out the crib to make millions of dollars. So y'all that's on this live, what option would y'all rather have? Would y'all rather be in Baton Rouge Parish, where we know Louisiana hot outside, so it's about to be hot in them cells, dealing with people that may have COVID and all of these health issues and this? or would you rather be on Grave Digger Mountain in a mansion while you await your trial? You get what I'm saying? Because you can't have both. You can't have both. Because no matter what you do, NBA YoungBoy, you're going to trial. You done made it this far, you going to trial, unless you cop out and want to get a deal, but you going to trial. So would you rather await your trial date in your $10 million mansion, or would you rather wait for your trial in Baton Rouge, Paris? Because this is what I'm trying to get the fans to realize is that if he thought he was going through and having a bad time living in that mansion on Gravedigger Mountain, he really about to go through it now. On top of additional, you got additional new charges. You know, you got charged with identity theft, weapons possession, drug possession, you know, and all of this stem behind. Let me tell y'all, let me break down the real reason why NBA YoungBoy recently was charged. And NBA YoungBoy have almost 60 counts of forgery. Pretty much, NBA YoungBoy faked himself as an elderly patient to obtain promethazine cough syrup, which the street name would be lean. Pretty much, a lot of people don't know of since Soulja Boy and Justin Bieber, when they came out and they made, you know, they started going public with the activists, you know, taking pictures and having it in videos and stuff like that. It was banned off the market. It's still in pharmacies, so don't let it be fooled to think that it's not in pharmacies at all. It's not discontinued. You got to have a prescription, or you got to be a doctor or a pharmaceutical to get it, but you can still get your hands on it. What NBA YoungBoy did was, why they charged him with identity theft, was he posed himself as an older person with the illness so that he can obtain the cough syrup. Then when they raided his house, the same prescription and the bottles they found in his house. So NBA YoungBoy got hit with like 63 counts of identity fraud. People was thinking like, oh, what is NBA YoungBoy out here doing, stealing people identity? This. No, he didn't steal anybody credit card or anything like that. He was using people's name to obtain a prescription promethazine in Utah. So he was using older people name, like let's just say if Caitlin such and such is a 73-year-old such and such, I'll pay her to use her identity so that I can go get this cough syrup. I'm gonna say, oh, I'm having back pains, this, and this. They're gonna write her up a prescription. Boom, I send somebody in there to go get it. That's pretty much what NBA YoungBoy did. He didn't physically steal somebody's credit card or anything like that. They charged him with identity theft because anytime you pose as somebody else, that's identity fraud. You get what I'm saying? Anytime you pose as somebody else. If I go into the liquor store and I'm using somebody else's ID, that's identity fraud because I'm posing as somebody else. That's why NBA YoungBoy got charged with identity theft. Identity theft. Now, the drugs that he got charged with was the promethazine bottles. When they came into his house, they found promethazine bottles, and they also found, I believe it was some type of form of pills they also found in there too. But they needed the promethazine bottles to actually charge him with the identity fraud. Because if they wouldn't have raided his house, and y'all wonder, why did they raid it? That's why they raided his house. They raided his house so that they can get those promethazine bottles. Because if we get those promethazine bottles, and of course, NBA YoungBoy not scratching the label off, scratching the name off, they matched it up. Okay, you posed as Caitlin Clarkson on this day to get 3 bottles. Okay, we just found 3 bottles in your house with Caitlin Clarkson's name on it. You get what I'm saying? My bad for using that name. That's just the first name popped in my head. That's what NBA YoungBoy is getting charged with. So he had 63 counts of identity fraud. I believe it was like, if from the article I was reading, I believe it was like 60 to 63 counts, you know. But that's why he's getting charged with identity fraud, you know. And it's all behind those promethazine bottles, you know. He did not, I'm going to repeat again, he did not steal somebody's credit card or anything like that. He just posed as an elderly. Well, the one case that they brought up was he posed as an elderly woman to get prescription bottles from a pharmaceutical place in Utah. And so I would expand that, you know, that the feds, you know, they have been watching this. And then how did he give it away? He's online. He's posting pictures with cups of lean, you know, this type of this, and this. While he's on probation. I mean, pretty much while he's on house arrest awaiting trial. Excuse me, y'all, I said probation. So it's like they already had a probable cause at any given time to search your house because you still are a federal inmate. When you out on bond, don't listen to what they say. You still are property of the feds because at any given time they can search your crib. At any given time they can search your crib. At any given time they can randomly drug test you, anything, because you're not a regular civilian. You're out on bond, so technically you're just not locked up, but you still don't have you still got the same exact rights as a person that's locked up. You can't leave your house. You got a drug test. We can search your house at any given time. You can't have any contact with law enforcement. That's the same thing as being locked up, you know? So they used that. They already had access to NBA YoungBoy home at any given time. Then on top of that, they got federal agents in front of his house. So that was an easy search. We can go in your house anyway because you're already on federal house arrest. So at any given time, we could search your house. Now we also have a probable cause to search your house because we believe you tied into this identity fraud case. So NBA YoungBoy was hurt. He was hit. It was nothing he could do. How was he gonna be able to hide this stuff or anything? The feds is in front of his house already because they on 24-hour surveillance protection, like I stated earlier in the video. So he was hit from the beginning. Once the Utah federal officer more than likely called them people in front of his house, they ran the NBA YoungBoy house quick. And what did they find? They found exactly what they needed. They needed to find those prescriptions and they needed to find those promethazine bottles. And that's how he got charged with 63 new counts of identity fraud, weapons charges, and also gun charges. Weapon charges and drug charges. So it ain't looking too good for NBA YoungBoy. He, like I just told y'all, he already back in Baton Rouge. They already transferred him, so he in that Baton Rouge parish right now. I wish NBA YoungBoy the best, but at the same time, man, we got to start taking responsibility, man, for our actions, man, and we got to start being accountable for the positions that we put ourselves in life. Here it is, we were saying we feel sorry for NBA YoungBoy because he was on house arrest. But think about this. The man is still in a multi-million-dollar mansion. He's still making millions of dollars from his house. He's still able to drop music, make music. He can't go perform and all that stuff, so I can get that part. But he was still living a better life than most of us. Most of us get up every day and work a 9-to-5 job. And man, by the time we get done with those 8 hours, man, we are beat and exhausted. Here it is. This man doesn't have to go. He doesn't have to leave his house to make money. So we sat there and we felt sorry for you. Wow, NBA YoungBoy, oh, you going through it, you going through it, you going through it. We feel sorry for you. Imagine if he had mental health issues in a multi-million-dollar mansion with millions of dollars in front of him. Imagine the mental breakdown he about to have sitting in Baton Rouge Parish is jail, where you got all types of criminals around you. And I'm gonna say it again, it's hot as hell in Louisiana. If it's 80, 90 something degrees outside, it's probably about 100 and something degrees inside them prison cells. So you got to deal with the heat. Your roommates' feet gonna be funky. All of that. You ain't got your in-house wife no more. You ain't got access to all these women and girls no more. None of that. And you said you was having a mental breakdown? Man, I would take NBA YoungBoy life on house arrest any day before I take NBA YoungBoy life having to sit in jail. There's nowhere in the world, bro. You could get everything flown to you, bro. You get the women flown to you. Whatever you want, bro, they could come to you. Whatever you want. You can't do nothing sitting in jail, bro. You're gonna have all the snacks in the commissary, but that's about it. A couple guards might look out for you because you NBA YoungBoy, but and then on top of that, bro, you still facing new additional time. Then you still gotta beat your federal gun case in Baton Rouge. So it's like, You know, man, he just messed up big time, man. But I don't say I feel sorry for this dude because I'm gonna say again, this guy was living in a multi-million-dollar mansion, man, with everything at his fingertips, and he kept doing dumb and belligerent stuff like posting photos with promethazine and all this other crazy type stuff, bro. And you know you on this federal, and you know the feds watching you. You know the feds watching you. You know the feds watching you. You was posting all this crazy stuff. I don't feel sorry for you, brother. If you say you need mental help and you need help and all of that, you about to get it. It's your boy D's Media signing out, man. I appreciate all y'all, man, for tapping into this live, man. But NBA YoungBoy, man, he just got transferred back to Baton Rouge Parish Jail where he got to sit to his federal gun case trial. He was also denied bond. And also, I just broke down why he just was arrested for identity fraud, drugs, and weapons charges. It all stemmed from him uh, posing as another person so that he could get a prescription promethazine from a Utah pharmacy. And they came back, man, and they snatched him up for it. But it's your boy D's Media signing out.